I'd love to introduce my first guests who are very actually important to my career and sort of history as a Nashvilleian, which is coming up on 4 years this summer. This is Todd Mayo and John Walker. I would love to know a little bit about both of your histories, because I know that you met in the advertising world.
We did.
And that is, what you say, advertising marketing is your specialty, but music is your passion.
That's true.
Maybe you can tell us a little bit about how you ended up in Nashville and what you were doing prior to Music City Roots and
Sure.
Bluegrass Underground.
We produce Music City Roots and Bluegrass Underground. Literally, we're just our job is to use our business acumen, whatever that is, or creativity, to shine a light on these great musicians. And it's sort of in the Americana, whatever that means, genre, but basically all American music, or music that has come from around the world to be, we're going to Ireland next month, we've been to Australia. It's sort of a global kind of vision about, any city that has a distinct musical culture is a music city. But at the end of the day, our job is to endeavor through radio, television, technology, online streaming, YouTube channel, podcast, any way that you can consume content to just show people something else that's more indicative of the reality of not just Music City, but sort of the country than what maybe you might hear on the radio. And so starting this 8 or 9 years ago, sort of the music that we were presenting was maybe on the fringes. Now, happily, it's moving a little bit towards the mainstream.
As a Yankee boy in Detroit and growing up in a very rich musical culture of its own in the golden Motown years, I had a very narrow view through the mainstream media of what Nashville was. Right. It was the checkered tablecloths and big belts and cowboy hats, and somehow, whenever the media would come to town to film B-roll, they would find a mechanical bull. I still don't know where the bull is, but it's like it was always on TV, and so you had this picture of, hay bales and kind of. And when I got here, I'm like, this is not the town at all that I had perceived as an outsider in the mainstream media. Actually, if I had known how cool this place was, I would have been here 30 years sooner.
It really did seem like we were kind of on a mission to sort of brand Music City for the reality of what it is and was, as opposed to what the perception was. Don't buy in to the duality of yourself and everybody else. Celebrate collaboration and lose yourself among others. And that's sort of what I try to do in partnership. Partners help me do that. If you partner with a brand that is as authentic in what they do as the music, then it just works. Find people that are passionate and then let them do their jobs. And, just totally believe in that. Rather somebody fail and just learn and grow and everybody do it together. And I think if you find the right person, that's like 95% of the battle.
We think healthy debate is a good thing on a team because, in a multitude of counsel, there's wisdom. And we always if we disagree, we're disagreeing under the premise that we're not arguing to see who's right, but for what's right. And that usually exists somewhere in the middle.
I've kind of been very fortunate to watch the evolution of Music City Roots.
Yeah.
And, it progressed from a radio show to, I think, the first time I interviewed you, you were about to go, into your first season of PBS. How do you stay interested repeatedly, going into your 7th consecutive year in the same thing?
That's a good question. Just for me, it's never the same. Every week is different. There's so many challenges just to keeping it all together. I'm happy just to grow it like we're doing. We're on 100 and something PBS markets, would like to be on 200. It's like you just stir the pot and have a bunch going on, and there's always a new creative endeavor. There's always growth. I mean, you got to have your head in the sky and your feet on the ground, but there is some bigger picture things.